Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes biology session. The famous biologists and their discoveries. So far we have studied about the different scientists related to biology and their contribution to our understanding of different concepts of biology. Okay, like Aristotle, Galen, Antony van Leeuwenhoek, Robert Hooke, Carl Linnaeus, Charles Darwin, Gregor John Mendel, Watson and Crick, Wilmot and Campbell, Jagadish Chandra Bose, Swaminathan, Birbal Sahani, Louis Pasteur, like that so many scientists and their contribution towards the knowledge of biology. Okay, so in this video we are going to discuss about different the fathers of various sciences and some biological discoveries, chronology of biological discoveries. Ready children, let us proceed. The father of zoology and biology, who is considered as the father of zoology and biology? He is the Aristotle. Aristotle, a famous he is a Greek scientist who is considered as the father of biology and zoology. Who is father of botany? The father of botany is Theophrastus. Theophrastus. The father of genetics, Gregor John Mendel. So these scientist names and their to which branch they are the father. Why they got that name? Because the maximum contribution to that branch was done by, or the important contribution of the contribution towards that particular area or particular branch of science was done by these scientists. Hence they are considered as the father of that particular branch of science. So you need to by heart these names of the scientists. 2-3 times you have to revise so that you can remember. Okay, father of genetics, Gregor John Mendel. Next, father of evolutionary ideas, means how the earth is formed and the ideas related to the evolution. Empedocles. Empedocles gave the ideas of evolutionary and he was considered as the father of evolutionary ideas. The father of eugenics, it was Francis Galton. Eugenics means the development of human race. It is a sub branch of genetics. So Francis Galton is considered as the father of eugenics. And the father of mutations, the sudden changes. Okay, he conducted several experiments on mutations and hence he is considered as the father of mutations. Who is the father of mutations? Hugo de Vries. Next, father of modern embryology. Modern embryology. Embryology is the study of developmental aspects. So father of modern embryology is the Carl Ernst von Baer. Carl Ernst von Baer was considered as the father of modern embryology. The father of paleontology. Paleontology is the study of fossils. So father of paleontology, Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci. The father of Indian paleontology, Birbal Sahani. Okay, but the father of paleontology is Leonardo da Vinci. Next, the father of taxonomy. Taxonomy is the study of classification of living organisms. So father of taxonomy, Carolus Linnaeus. Carolus Linnaeus, father of taxonomy. Next, father of special creation theory, that is Father Sauraj is the father of special creation theory. Next, the father of blood groups, Karl Landsteiner. He discovered the human blood groups, that is A, B and O blood groups, discovered by Karl Landsteiner. He is considered as the father of blood groups. The father of blood circulation, it was William Harvey. Okay, he gave the complete idea of the blood circulation, so he is considered as the father of blood circulation and also father of physiology also. Physiology means the study of functional aspects. Father of comparative anatomy. Comparative anatomy. Okay, it is G. Cuvier was considered as the father of comparative anatomy. Anatomy means study of internal structures. The next, father of modern genetics, T. H. Morgan. He worked on Drosophila insect and is considered as father of modern genetics. Father of medicine, he is the Hippocrates, considered as father of medicine. Father of microbiology, Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur conducted several experiments on the microbes and he discovered vaccines also. He is considered as the father of microbiology. Next, father of immunology. He is also discovered the vaccine for smallpox. So immunity can be developed by vaccine. So he is considered as father of immunology, Edward Jenner. Chronology of biological discoveries. (1460 to 377). 460 to 377. Hippocrates at that time, before Christ, he used the plants in medicine. So hence he is considered as a father of the BC medicine. Okay, before Christ medicine. The father of medicine, Hippocrates. Okay, he is before the Christ, that period, he is considered as father of the medicine. Next, 384 322. This period is Aristotle. He initiated the study of biology. He is considered as father of biology. 370 285. During this period, Theophrastus, he described 480 kinds of plants and he wrote a book, Historia Plantarum. Historia Plantarum, and he is considered as the father of botany and the writer of Cause of Plants. He is also considered as the writer of Cause of Plants. In 1590, invention of first microscope by Jensen and Jacqueline Jensen. Okay, the first microscope. Next, in 1665, the discovery of cell in the cork tissue by Robert Hooke. He described his discovery or about his studies on the cell in a particular book by name Micrographia. The book name is Micrographia. Okay, in 1675, Anatomia Plantarum, a book written by Marcello Malpighi. Okay, he is also studied the internal structures by using the microscope. He is anatomist. Anatomist means study of internal structures. So in 1675, Anatomia Plantarum book was introduced by Marcello Malpighi, and 1683, initial separation of bacteria. Anton van Leeuwenhoek discovered the bacteria in 1683 and he named that bacteria as animalcules. They are not animals, but they are like animalcules. Okay. Next, in 1694, Marcello Malpighi illustrated stomata and parenchyma. These are the tissues present in the plant. Stomata is the epidermal tissue, parenchyma is the ground tissue. It was introduced by Marcello Malpighi in 1694. In 1694, same year, Camerarius described the sexual reproduction of plants and importance of pollination in the sexual reproduction. Okay, the sexual reproduction is plants, you know very well, plants undergo a sexual reproduction, that is vegetative reproduction, where roots, stem, leaves are involved, but the reproductive unit of the plant is flower. The flower is involved in the sexual reproduction of the plants. So pollination, transfer of pollen grains, in 7th class you have studied. Okay, so it is the Camerarius described the sexual reproduction of plants and the importance of pollination in the sexual reproduction. In 1727, Stephen Hales discovered the idea of manufacture of food by green plants in sunlight. Okay, means around this period the photosynthesis discoveries were done on the photosynthesis. Okay, Stephen Hales discovered the idea of manufacture of food by the green plants in sunlight. He is considered as father of plant physiology. Who is the father of plant physiology? Stephen Hales. Next, in 1753, two books were introduced, that is the Species Plantarum and Genera Plantarum. These two books are the parts of binomial nomenclature introduced by Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, Carl van Linné is also called Carolus Linnaeus, and he also wrote another book by name Systema Naturae. Okay, he is considered as father of taxonomy. Who is called the father of taxonomy? Carolus Linnaeus. What is taxonomy? The identification, naming and classification of living organisms is called taxonomy. Okay, so Carolus Linnaeus, he has discovered many plant species and animal species, and he introduced binomial nomenclature. Okay, he is considered as father of taxonomy. In 1759, C.F. Wolf established the embryology and gave epigenesis concept. Okay, the concept of epigenesis was given by C.F. Wolf. And in 1761, discovery of sexuality in plants. Joseph Gottlieb Kohlrichter. Joseph Gottlieb Kohlrichter was a scientist who discovered the sexuality of plants. Next, in 1779, discovery of photosynthesis. Ingenhousz, the scientist by name Jan Ingenhousz, discovered the concept of photosynthesis. In 1783, the first studies of biology of flowers. Christian Conrad Sprengel. First studies of biology of flowers in 1783. In 1802, Lamarck and Treviranus proposed the term biology. So Lamarck has become popular regarding this, introducing the term biology, which means the Greek word which means the study of living organisms. In 1804, The researches Chimicus sulla vegetation, the discovery of the gaseous exchange of plants. Okay, it was done by Nicholas Theodore de Saussure. Researches, he researched, and the technique, that is not the technique of sulla vegetation, the discovery of gaseous exchange, how the gaseous exchange takes place in the plants. De Saussure. In 1809, J.B. Lamarck, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, he proposed the theory of inheritance of acquired characters in the evolution process. Okay, how giraffe is developed. It was developed from the antelope. So, and he introduced the concept of use and disuse theory. According to this use and disuse theory, the part of an organism which is used regularly, it will develop, and the part which is neglected, it will degenerate gradually. Okay, so that is the concept of use and disuse theory proposed in the book Philosophic Zoology Q. Philosophic Zoology Q. The book Philosophic Zoology Q was written by Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, J.B. Lamarck, in 1809. At the same year, another evolutionary concept, the theory of natural selection, was introduced by this Charles Darwin. Okay, in 1809, Charles Darwin from the England, voyage on Beagle. He travelled long distances in the ship. The ship name is Beagle, and he introduced the concept of origin of species in 1859. He wrote a book, Origin of Species. In that, the theory of natural selection and the survival of the fittest. Okay, he was very much influenced by an essay written by Malthus on population. Okay, and he introduced two concepts, theory of natural selection. In that, the survival of the fittest. Nature itself, according to him, Charles Darwin, nature itself will select the better species. The species which has guts to survive in this nature can be selected by the nature itself. The remaining weak species will be degenerated. Okay, survival of the fittest, struggle for existence. These two concepts was introduced. Next, 1817, Caventon discovered the naming of chlorophyll. Okay, Caventon's discovery, he named the term chlorophyll pigment. In 1824, discovery of endoosmosis. Osmosis means the exchange of the fluids takes place in the cells when the two different concentrated solutions are separated by a semi-permeable membrane. Then the exchange of materials takes place until the concentration becomes equal on both sides. So endoosmosis means entering inside. So it was the discovery of endoosmosis was done by H.J. Dutrochet. H.J. Dutrochet, and he also suggested that all plants and animals are made up of cells. Later it was proved by Schleiden and Schwann. In 1828, the Brownian movement, the movement in the cytoplasm particles takes place. The Brownian movement, Robert Brown, he discovered the Brownian movement in 1828. The next, 1830, Pirikunji, the scientist by name Pirikunji, he studied the movements and the pollination. Okay, and In 1831, nucleus in the plant cells were discovered by Robert Brown. Okay, see, one scientist in the different areas, multi-talented scientists were there at that time. So serendipitical discoveries happened, means they started for searching something, and they discovered some new thing. Okay, that is called serendipitical discoveries. In 1835, nucleolus, it is also a part of nucleus. The nucleolus term was named by Bowman in 1840, and the first seen by, it was seen by Fontana, scientist Fontana, in 1781, but described by Schleiden in 1835. See, single organelle nucleolus named by Bowman, first seen by Fontana and described by Schleiden. Next, in 1835, the name sarcode for the cell fluid was given by Dujardin. In 1835, sarcode term was given to the cell fluid by, cell fluid means that cytoplasm, Dujardin. And in 1837, named protoplasm, the living substance of the cell, it is also given by Purkinje. The term protoplasm was introduced by Purkinje. Next, in 1838, Malthus suggested that the human population increases much faster than the food production. So it impressed the Charles Darwin also. Malthus, he wrote an essay on population. In that he suggested that the human population is increasing day by day much faster than the food production. In 1839, G.J. Mulder named proteins. In 1839, same year, cell theory was proposed by German scientist who is a botanist, M.J. Schleiden, and Theodor Schwann, a zoologist. Both together proposed the cell theory. 1840, the study of cell division done by Hofmeister. In 1840, the mineral nutrition of plants established overthrow of the human theory, of the humus theory. It was given by Justus von Liebig. Justus von Liebig, mineral theory. So that is a humus theory. Humus is a very fertile soil which you found in the surface of the forest area soil. Okay. In 1842, R. Mayer, he studied the light energy change to chemical energy in photosynthesis. Okay, during photosynthesis, light energy is converted to chemical energy. It was proposed by R. Mayer. In 1844, the properties of protoplasm was given by Hugo von Mohl. Hugo von Mohl, he explained the properties of protoplasm. Means what is the composition of protoplasm, what are the functions of protoplasm, why it is considered. Okay, so all those things, properties, particularly the properties of protoplasm was given by Hugo von Mohl. Next, 1845, law of conservation of energy, Julius Robert von Mayer. It was given by Julius Robert von Mayer. What is the law of conservation of energy? The definition is the energy can be neither created nor destroyed, but can be transferred from one form to other form. It can be transferred from one form to other form, interconverted it can be. Okay, law of conservation of energy was given by Julius Robert von Mayer. 1846, plant cells arise from pre-existing cells. Okay, it was given by K. Nageli. K. Nageli. It was proved by Rudolf Virchow. Okay, 1851, discovery of homologies in plant reproduction. Homologies. Wilhelm Hofmeister. Wilhelm Hofmeister, discovery of homologies in plant reproduction. In 1857, George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker, these two, Bentham and Hooker popularly called, they published a book, Genera Plantarum. Genera Plantarum. In 1858, so omnis cellula e cellula, the term given, cells originate from pre-existing cells. It was given by Rudolf Virchow. In 1859, C.R. Darwin, the theory of natural selection. Origin of Species book. Origin of Species book also written by Charles Darwin, 1859. Next, in 1862, Kolliker. In 1862, Albert Kolliker introduced the term cytoplasm. The term cytoplasm was introduced by Kolliker. In 1863, proposition of natural system of classification of angiosperms. Angiosperms means the flowering plants. George Bentham together with Sir Joseph Dalton Hooker. Okay, natural system of classification. Classification of plants, several systems are there, like natural system of classification, Hutchinson system of classification. Okay, so the classification, natural system of classification was introduced by Bentham and Hooker in 1863. They divided angiosperms into two major categories, dicots and monocots. Next, in 1864, Louis Pasteur proposed germ theory of diseases. In 1865, the term plastid was given by Ernest Haeckel. 1866, Haeckel only, he proposed recapitulation theory and coined the term protista. What is recapitulation theory? Ontogeny repeats phylogeny. Okay, certain characters, ancestor characters may be repeated in the embryonic stage. So that is the meaning of recapitulation theory. And he coined the term protista, unicellular organisms, protozoa and the algae. Later Whittaker put unicellular organisms like protozoa and algae in that kingdom, protista. Okay, but the term protista was coined by Haeckel. In 1866, Gregor John Mendel, an Austrian monk, he proposed the theories on inheritance, law of inheritance. Okay, that is how the characters transfer from parents to offsprings. He is considered as the father of genetics, and he worked on pea plant. 1868, T.H. Huxley, he considered, and he says that the protoplasm is the physical basis of life. Okay, before him it was not it is a part of cytoplasm, but Huxley proved that the protoplasm is the physical basis of life. Next, in 1869, isolation of DNA from nucleus of the pus cells. Mister was a scientist who isolated the DNA from the pus cells nucleus. That is in 1869. In 1870, His invented microtome, a technique. In 1870. 1873, Strasburger, he observed the cell division and nuclear division. In 1875, Hartwig and von Benden both described the fertilization between the sperm and egg nuclei. Okay, the concept of fertilization was observed by Hartwig and Benden. They describe the fertilization. The process of union of male nucleus with female nucleus is called as fertilization. It results in the formation of zygote. In 1876, identification of anthrax bacillus bacterium, anthrax bacillus as a pathogen of cattle. Robert Koch in 1876, he identified the anthrax bacillus. 1878, J. Lister obtained the pure cultures of bacteria for the first time. 1878, W. Kuhne coined the term enzymes for fermentation of the yeast. He coined the term enzyme. 1880, mitochondria was discovered by Kolika. Mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. In 1882, chromatin, the term chromatin which is present in the nucleus, Fleming described the chromosome splitting used the word mitosis. Okay, means the Fleming introduced the concept of mitosis, a kind of cell division. According to him, the chromosome splitting takes place during the mitosis. 1883, Schimper, the scientist, named chloroplasts the special bodies of plant. And in the same year, nearby, Sack was another scientist in 1865. The green granules of means chloroplast he named as green granules. Okay. In the 1791, the same concept was again explained by Comparati. Okay. Schimper named the chloroplast, and later Sack called them as special bodies of plant. Later they are called as green granules by Comparati in 1791. In 1884, Strasburger observed the fertilization and cell division in plants and used the term cytoplasm and nucleoplasm. Cytoplasm is the fluid present in the cell. Nucleoplasm is the fluid present in the nucleus, inside the nucleus. In 1886, John Ray, he published a book, Historia Generalis Plantarum. Historia Generalis Plantarum. He discovered the term, he introduced the term species also. John Ray. In 1888, chromosome, the name chromosome was given by Walther. Chromosome term was given by Walther, and it was first seen by Hofmeister in 1848. In the same year 1888, again centrosome and centriole were discovered by T. Boveri. In 1892, Iwaniski, a Russian scientist, he discovered TMV virus, tobacco mosaic virus. In 1892, August Weismann, he proposed the theory of germplasm. Germplasm theory was proposed by August Weismann. Okay, according to this Weismann, the changes which are taking place in the germplasm is a fluid present in the germ cells, reproductive cells, that is spermatozoa and ova. that is transferred to the next generation, but not the changes which takes place in the somatic cells, means vegetative cells other than these gametes. In 1892, Hartwig published monograph in that the cells and tissues. He published a monograph by name The Cells and Tissues and established cytology. Study of cells is called cytology. In 1894, Altman, he discovered that the mitochondria and described the mitochondria as bioplasts. Bioplasts means the energy producing bodies. Next, 1895, Dickson and Joly advocated cohesion tension theory for ascent of sap. Ascent of sap means the transport of water and minerals by xylem tissue. So it was explained by Dickson and Joly in 1895. In 1897, mitochondria was discovered by C. Benda. Benda was a scientist who named the term mitochondria. In 1898, Buchner named zymase. Zymase is an enzyme which is produced by the yeast. Yeast produces two enzymes, invertase and zymase. So zymase helps in the process of fermentation. Invertase helps in the baking of disaccharides into monosaccharides, means sucrose is converted to glucose and fructose by invertase enzyme, and the zymase enzyme helps in the fermentation of glucose. Okay, so this zymase enzyme was discovered by Buchner. 1898, Navaschin recorded double fertilization in angiosperms. He recorded, or he explained the concept of double fertilization. Double fertilization means actually the pollen grain consisting of two male nucleus. One of the male nucleus will combine with the egg cell, the female nucleus, and form zygote, and another male nucleus combines with the secondary nucleus and form the endosperm. So two times the fertilization is taking place in angiosperms, higher plants. So it is called as double fertilization. The concept of double fertilization was given by Navaschin. Okay, children, keep reading the book. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.